Hi, all. Today I'm going to explain lambda expressions in Java 8. Yeah, before we go to lambda expression, we should understand first what is functional interface. So this functional interface is also introduced in Java 8. Yeah, functional interface is nothing but an interface which is having only one abstract method. So that means we should, whenever we have a implemented class for this functional interface, we should have only one method to implement. Yeah, here I have an example of functional interface, that is integer operator. This is nothing but an interface having one abstract method. So that means whenever we are going to have a implemented class for this integer operator, so we should implement only one class. Yeah. So with this integer operator, I'll explain lambda expressions. Yeah, but before we go to lambda expressions, we should understand so how we coded before lambda expressions. I will just revise how we are dealing with these interfaces which are having only one implemented method. Yeah, there are two ways to handle these things. So one is with normal classes and other is with anonymous classes. So when I say normal classes, that means we need to create classes and those classes will implement this interfaces. Yeah, as we are having integer operator interface with having operation method as a abstract method, so I am going to implement this as two operators. For now we'll have add operator and subtract operator. Okay, so first we'll see what is how we coded this before anonymous classes. Okay, so without anonymous classes we should have two separate classes. Okay, so that is add operator, okay, and subtract operator. Okay, so these two classes will implement integer operator. Okay, so then add operator implements integer operator and we should implement the method operation. Yeah, as it is add operator, I'm just summing, I'm just plus of operator 1 and operator 2. This returns the summation of operator 1 plus operator 2. Okay, and then go to subtract operator. Subtract operator is subtraction of operator 1 minus operator 2. Okay, so in future if I want to have one more operator called multiple operator, multiply operator, divide operator, so I need to have those many classes. So that is without anonymous class. Yeah, first we'll see without anonymous classes how we used to code. Okay, so yeah, as we have the classes already existed, so we need to just create objects for them by using our interface. Okay, so our interface is integer operator. I'm creating an object for this add operator by using add operator class. Okay, and it is normal. Yeah, I'm just created a object and calling operation method inside that, and also same for subtract operator and calling the operation method in the subtract operator. Okay, so just we'll see the result. Here I'm passing 3 and 5. That means it will give the 8 for this add operator, and 8 and 3 it will give the 5 for the subtract operator. Okay, so I hope you understand. So will how we used to code. Later we have a concept called anonymous classes. Okay, so what is the advantage of anonymous class now? So in future, as I mentioned, if I want to have one more operator called multiply operator, so I need to create a class over here, and that should implement the operation method. So to avoid that, so Java introduced a concept called anonymous class. So what is anonymous class? We'll see here what is anonymous class. I no need to create any class. So what I'm going to create here is I'll create an object for this integer operator, so which is add, and as I need only one method to implement, I just implement like this here itself, inline. Okay, so it is inline code. So why it is called anonymous class means, yeah, we have a class which is implemented integer operator, but we don't have any name for that. So that's what we are calling anonymous class. Okay, so that means we are get rid of this creating new classes. Okay, so these two are not required if we going with anonymous class. Okay, so we'll just see the syntax of anonymous class. So it is nothing, integer operator is interface, and we are giving one object name add and equal to. So here we used to give class name, new class, I mean constructor name. So we are giving the constructor name of the same interface with implemented method, and that is operation. Okay, so whatever the code we have inside that anonymous, inside that the class integer and the add operator, I am putting over here for the sake for the subtract operator. So in future, if I want to have a multiply operator, I just simply copy this and then put op1 plus, I mean op star plus op2. I can put inside the operation method. Yeah, we'll just see the result of this. Yeah, it will also give the same results. It is nothing new. Yeah. So now coming to lambda expression. Okay. So what is lambda expression? So lambda expression made our life very easy. Okay. So to not have this much of code. Okay. So if you closely observe this integer operator of add object and integer operator of subtract object. Okay, so what is, if you observe closely, so these many lines, and in them, so this, so everything is same, nothing but this one, op1 plus op2, everything is same, op1 minus op2. If you really create one more object called, I mean one more operator called multiply mul, so what you are going to change? You are going to change only this, the operator op1 star op1 op2, that's it. So if you are really going to have one more operator divide, so what we are going to change? You are going to change this one only, op1 by op2. Okay, so that, so the redundant of this code is reduced by lambda expression. So lambda expressions, as I mentioned, they made our life easy. It enabled to pass functionality as a method. Okay, so that means we can pass functionality as method argument or code as data. So, okay, like in our day-to-day life, what we pass to the methods, we pass objects or we pass primitive data types. So here, for example, if you take this operation as a method, we are passing op1 is here we are passing 3 is an 3 is a primitive data type. So, but the lambda expression, we can pass functionality, we can pass code as a argument, and this function can be created without belonging to any class. So we no need to create any class, we just simply pass a piece of code as a argument, such that, so that will internally take care of everything. Okay, so now I am going to lambda expressions. I'll show what is lambda. Okay, so we already see with the anonymous class, we are repeating many of the things in the code, but changing only one statement. Okay, so that one is lambda expression. Okay, so lambda expression is I'm creating an object for integer operator. So that is an object name is add. Okay, so what I'm specifying here is, okay, so this in this statement, so this is called lambda expression. So what I'm specifying over here is, so mm, that means an integer operator is a functional interface which has only one method. So that can be anything. I no need to know the name of that method. So as it is only one, but it has two arguments. I'm passing those two arguments, op1 as op2, and the functionality is op1 plus op2. I hope you understand. I'll repeat again. Okay. So here, the integer operator having one abstract method. So that can be anything. We no need to have the name of that name. That method name. So that method is accepting two arguments. Okay, I'm passing two arguments. And what is the functionality? So my functionality is op1 plus op2. So that means whenever I call add that operation, it will automatically, okay, so here I'm calling add that operation, it will call it will pass 3, 5 to op1 and op2, and then it will return this statement 3 plus 2. So by this, we are reducing this much of code to a single line of the code. So the same way is for subtract. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So we will again explain. We'll closely observe a lambda expression. So lambda expression having this parenthesis. So this will represent name arguments to be passed. If there are no arguments, you can just simply put empty brackets, empty parenthesis like this. And after this arrow, so we need to put arrow. After this arrow, so this op1 plus op2 is nothing but our functionality, what you are expecting when you called that method in that interface. So that functionality you need to write. So if you have multiple statements to be written, so you need to put them in braces. And if you have only one statement to be written, you just put in one statement and no need to even write the return statement also. So that will implicitly return. So, and if you have multiple statements, you can write over here statement 1, statement 2, and return statement 3, something like that. So this will be written. Okay, we'll see more examples on this. Okay, so we'll just execute this one. Yeah. See. Okay. So result of operation lambda 3 and 5 is 5. So this, what I'm calling here is add that operation. So add that operation is in which class? It is in interface, integer operator. So what I'm add object is doing. So what my add object is doing? Add object is indirectly implementing that operation method by using a lambda expression, which will this 3, 5 go here 3, 5, and op1 plus op2 3, and it will 3 plus 5, it will return 8, and that 8 will be our answer. So same for subtract. Okay, so I have more examples for the lambda generic test. Okay, yeah, here we are having only with the integer operator. So in future, if we have a operator which can be created as a generics, like with generic sub in the Java, Okay, so I have a method called print result here. So it will accept t comma t, which is generics, op1, op2, and operator. So we don't know which object to be operate, but we have the method operation. Okay, so let me show first operator object. Sorry, interface. Operator interface is a generic type now. It will accept two operands, op1, op2, and will return uh, the operands operation of the operands. Okay, so that we can implement using lambda expression. Yeah, now sorry, lambda generics. Okay, so that means it will accept anything now, not only integers. It will accept double, long, so string, even list. So that based on our implementation. Okay, first we'll start with integer. Okay, so what I'm trying to here is 4 comma 2. So the same lambda expression op1, op2, op1 plus op2. Subtract op1, op2, op1 minus op2. So string. Okay, so string op1, op2. In the strings we have concat method. So that is not that we are doing here with the lambda expression. So the two operands op1, op2 and op1 dot concat op2. So that means, so it is dynamically implement this method. I mean this, not, I can't say this method, this line, this statement. So replace in the operation method and give the results. So this will give the concatenation of these two strings. Okay, yeah, we'll see as I mentioned in now the other lambda expressions. Yeah, so for example, with arguments and single line return, you can just put like arguments in parentheses, and this will must arrow, and here a greater than b. So it will return a greater than b. So that means boolean. So if a is greater than, it will return true or false. So with no arguments and single return, yeah, single return statement false. So with no argument and single non-return statement, we can even have non-return statements also. So that means, so here when you call this method by using this lambda expression, it will print high. So with arguments and multiple return statements, so a comma b is arguments and multiple statements. So I'm just printing now, printing one statement and then returning a minus b. So when you have multiple statements, you should have written in the last statement. Yeah, so here is the other example. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to add two lists. Okay, so here is my first list. So NAG. So here is my second list, RAJ, and OP1, OP2 is like my lambda expression. Like if you, this is my lambda expression. Now OP1, OP2 has two arguments. I'm just trying to have multiple statements. So first statement is printing adding list. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is just I'm printing that and creating one more. So as I'm passing two string lists, I mean list of strings, I'm just creating one more list of string and adding both these strings to the newly created string and returning op3. That means, so this will give the op3 list and print nag raj. Okay, now, yeah, in Java 8, after lambda expressions, as I mentioned, our life made very easy. So there are many function interfaces are introduced, and they are used in Java 8 library. So I'm giving some examples. So earlier, you know how we used to write for each and all. So now how we can write for each. Okay, so here I'm having a list with NAG elements. I'm just trying to print all elements in the list. Okay. So list dot for each, there is a new method introduced in list, I mean in all collections, that is for each. So for each will accept consumer functional interface. So this consumer, in the consumer functional interface, we have one method that is called accept, one method that is called accept. Okay, so that means we can use lambda expressions with for each. Okay, so this is nothing but we are creating a consumer object. I mean, we are creating a implemented. So in this in these statements, what is happening inside is, okay, we are creating a class and creating an object for that class, and implementing the accept method of consumer interface. So that is system.out.println. Okay, so this s is nothing but our argument. Okay, we can write s in the parentheses or without parentheses also, as it is only one. So this s is our element which is in the list, and the implemented method is system.out.println. Yes, that means it will print all elements. Like for each will give element, so that will come to s, and as we are implementing the accept method of consumer interface with the system.out.println, that will execute and print s. So that will happen for every element in the list. Okay, see, now I can have more, more functionality. I can implement more functionality in this. So here what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to print all elements in the lowercase. That is nothing but system.out.println s dot lowercase. Okay, so this is our lambda expression. So this, yeah, now you can imagine how we used to code for and now how we are coding now. Okay, so for example, even as I mentioned, this after lambda expressions, in Java 8 we are introduced many functional interfaces. So, and the other is the streams also introduced. Okay, so here the list is now stream. In stream we can do multiple things. All that aggregation functionality we can do in the streams. When I say aggregations, like filter, min, max, average, these are we can do. So here, so filter is a method which accepts predicate interface. Okay, this predicate interface is a functional interface, and it has one method that is called test. Okay, so this test is returning boolean, that means true or false. Okay, so whenever this method returns true, so that element is filtered in the stream. So otherwise it will be not taken. Okay, so we are simply giving this lambda expression. So that means we are created a class for the predicate interface and override test method. So the test method will accept one argument, so that is yes, and return true or false. So that is s dot equals here, the functionality, and return true or false, s dot equals here. So whenever s dot equals a is true, so that element will be filtered and other element will be not taken in the stream. So this filter will give the subset of the stream So which are passed, which are passed in the predicate test. So that means, for example, in this example, I have NAG, my list is NAG. So S dot equals A. So in these three elements, only one element is passed in this predicate test. So that will be taken, and that is a return of this filter. So that is nothing but substream of this filter. And I'm again doing for each of the substream with using same lambda expression. Okay, so now there are in the streams there are many utility functions. Like I said, filter. Now we are going to see map. Map is nothing but, so map is to return stream consisting of the results applied to this function interface. Okay, so here so what my map method will do is, so it will iterate all elements in the stream and do operations on the method of that one and give that as a new stream. So for example, here my NAG is a elements in my stream. So those are in capital letters. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convert them as a lowercase. So now my new stream, here my new stream is small n, small a, small g. Okay, so here, okay, as we are mainly focusing on the lambda expressions, so here is our lambda expression. Yes, s dot lowercase with them. So s dot s lowercase is nothing but we are created a class for the function interface and implemented the method of apply with the s dot lowercase. Okay, so that means now by this, as soon as we come over here, so my stream is now with the small letters, and so this is again I can collect that stream in the list. Okay, so that means I get again the list, and now so I can iterate that list. I'm trying to iterate and then printing each of the element by using again lambda expression. Here I'm not returning anything, I'm just printing. So here again, as I mentioned, for each is argument of the for each is consumer interface, consumer functional interface with the accept method is implemented. So my accept method is now is system.out println yes. Okay, yeah, there is other way. So instead of lambda expression, so we can use this operator. So this is called method reference operator. So method reference operator is nothing but method as an argument. Method as an argument. Okay, so we can see this in other video, but now just as I'm here, I am just saying that we can even use this utility methods in the streams with method reference operator also. So this method reference operator is, so this is method in the string class. So this will be called, okay, when we are calling map. So that means we are overriding apply method of function interface with the string.lowercase method. So that means for each element, it will apply this two lowercase method, and then we'll get the result as a substream of this main stream. Again, I'm using the same like here. I'm using a print method of system.out object. So that means here I am overriding accept method of consumer functional interface with print method, so which is in system.out. So that means for each element, it will call print method, which is in system.out, and will give the result. So we can just run this one. Java. Okay. Yeah, we'll come to first. So first we are just using lambda operator with the generics one, as we are giving integer ob1 plus op2 6. So for double, subtract double 4.5 comma 2.3 is giving 2.2, and for strings concatenating them, so concatenate string and concatenating of two lists, so nag raj adding list. So see, concatenating two lists, so adding list also printed, and adding list, result of operation is two lists, nag raj. This result of this nag raj is nag raj, and then printing all elements in the nag list. So that is nag. So print all elements in lowercase nag, print filtered elements. So as we see, only one element is matched, so that only one element is created. So map and collect, so nag. So in the other way also you see nag. Yeah, I hope you understand what is lambda expression and why it is introduced, and how it made the coding very simple. If you have any questions, please put in comments. If you like this video, please share and like. Thanks.